Hey guys, tonight we plunge into the Andromeda Galaxy's forgotten ruins, where crumbling spires pierce a star-dusted sky, and every shadow feels like it's sizing you up. Picture yourself stepping off a rickety shuttle, boots crunching on alien gravel, the air thick with a metallic tang that makes your skin prickle. These ruins, older than Earth's oldest pyramids, sprawl across a barren planet, their jagged silhouettes glowing faintly under a triple moon glow. You're here to unravel their secrets, but let's be real, you probably won't survive this in one piece, mentally at least. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I'm curious where you're drifting off from tonight. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You stand on the edge of this desolate world, your breath fogging up your visor. The Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million light-years from Earth, isn't just a pretty smudge in telescopes, it's a cosmic graveyard. In 2019, astronomers using the Hubble Space Telescope confirmed Andromeda's halo holds traces of ancient collisions, proof of devoured galaxies. These ruins you're exploring? They're older, built by a species we'll call the Star Weavers, a name whispered in fringe xenoarchaeology circles. Nobody knows their real name, but their structures scream intelligence and dread. You take a step and the ground hums like it's alive. A quirky tidbit, some conspiracy theorists claim Andromeda's ruins inspired H.P. Lovecraft's cosmic horror, his great old ones echoing Star Weaver vibes. No proof, but the idea's creepy enough to make you check your helmet's seal. Your flashlight catches a half-collapsed archway. It's stone, or is it stone, etched with spirals that seem to writhe. You're not alone here. The air feels thick, like someone's watching. Historians still argue whether the Star Weavers vanished or evolved into something beyond flesh. Were they snuffed out by their own tech, or did they ascend to some freaky cosmic plane? You don't know yet, but your gut says answers lie deeper. You trudge forward, past pillars that lean at impossible angles, defying physics. It's like the ruins are playing with you, whispering, "Turn back, buddy." But you don't. You never do. Instead, you trip over a chunk of debris and nearly faceplant. Smooth move, by the way. The ruins stretch endlessly, a maze of silent menace, and you're already wondering if your shuttle's still there. The air's getting colder, your suit's heater's struggling. You spot a faint glow ahead, not from your flashlight, but from the ruins themselves. It's a sickly green, pulsing like a heartbeat. You're drawn to it, like a moth to a flame, except this flame might eat your soul. Okay, maybe not, but it's not exactly inviting you for tea. You pass a crumbled statue, its face too worn to make out, but its eyes, oh those eyes, feel like they're tracking you. You laugh nervously, muttering, "Nice place for a nap, right?" But the silence swallows your joke. The ruins don't care. They've seen countless wanderers like you, and they're still here, waiting. You're just another speck in their eternal game. That glow's getting brighter, pulling you deeper. Time to move. You trudge deeper into the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins, the sickly green glow from last time tugging at your curiosity like a cosmic fishing line. The air, or whatever passes for air here, feels heavier, like it's pressing secrets into your chest. Crumbling structures loom around you, their jagged edges softened by eons of cosmic dust. You're in the heart of the Star Weaver's forgotten city, and it's whispering. Not words, mind you, just a low hum that vibrates in your bones, like the universe is clearing its throat to tell you something unsettling. You adjust your helmet, half expecting it to fog up from your nervous breathing. Spoiler, it does. These ruins aren't just old, they're ancient in a way that makes Earth's pyramids look like a toddler's sandcastle. Back in 2021, astronomers studying Andromeda's outer disk found evidence of a massive stellar collision 8 billion years ago, a cosmic fender bender that likely birthed this planet's eerie landscape. The Star Weavers, whoever they were, built here long before that crash. You're walking through their legacy, each step kicking up dust that's probably older than humanity. A quirky tidbit floats through your mind. Some fringe researchers on Earth swear the Star Weavers left coded messages in Andromeda's starlight, patterns only visible through illegal deep space telescopes. Sounds like tinfoil hat nonsense, but out here, with that hum in your ears, you're not so sure. You pass a shattered dome, its surface pocked with craters like a cosmic acne outbreak. The hum grows louder and you notice faint scratches in the dust. Claw marks? Nah, probably just wind. Except there's no wind here. You chuckle, muttering, "Great, now I'm starring in my own horror flick." The ruins don't laugh back. Instead, they offer a new puzzle, a wall of stone, or maybe it's metal, covered in intricate carvings. They're not quite glyphs yet, more like abstract swirls that make your eyes ache. You trace one with a gloved finger and the hum spikes, rattling your teeth. Okay, maybe don't touch the creepy alien art next time. Historians still argue whether the Starweaver's architecture was functional or ritualistic. Did they build these sprawling complexes to live in or to worship something far bigger and scarier than themselves? You're leaning toward the latter because nothing about this place says cozy home. The carvings twist under your flashlight, almost moving. You blink and they're still again. Classic tired brain trick, right? You hope so. You keep moving, following the hum toward a narrow passage. It's tight, barely wide enough for your suit, and the walls feel like they're closing in. You're not claustrophobic, but this place is testing you. Just a stroll in the galaxy, you whisper, trying to lighten the mood. It doesn't work. The passage opens into a wider chamber, dust swirling like a lazy ghost. The hum's now a pulse, steady as a heartbeat, coming from a half-buried structure ahead. It's not quite a building, more like a pile of geometric shapes that don't add up. Your scanner beeps, picking up faint energy readings. Not tech, exactly, but something alive in a way that makes your skin crawl. You take a step closer and the dust shifts, revealing more carvings. These ones look like eyes, hundreds of them, staring right at you. You freeze, heart thumping. Okay, universe, you win, you mutter, half laughing, half praying. The hum doesn't care. It's calling you deeper, and you're too stubborn or too dumb to turn back now. You're standing in a cavernous chamber within the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins. The air thick with that eerie hum that's starting to feel like an uninvited guest in your skull. The walls, if you can call them that, shimmer with faint green glyphs that pulse like they're alive. You're no linguist, but these carvings don't look like any language. You'd bet your shuttle they're more than just fancy graffiti. Your flashlight flickers, because of course it does, and the glyphs seem to twist under its beam, daring you to stare longer. You don't. Not yet. You're too busy trying not to trip over the uneven floor, which feels like it's shifting just to mess with you. Back in 2015, astronomers mapping Andromeda's spiral arms found odd gravitational anomalies, hinting at structures like these ruins, massive, ancient, and defying known physics. The Starweavers, or whatever they called themselves, etched these glyphs for a reason. Maybe they were maps, warnings, or love letters to some cosmic horror. A quirky tidbit, a rogue xenoarchaeologist once claimed on a shady X thread that these glyphs sync with Andromeda's pulsar signals, like a galaxy-wide Morse code. Nobody's proved it, but out here, with the hum tickling your spine, it doesn't sound so crazy. You step closer to a glyph-covered pillar, its surface cool despite your suit's insulation. The carvings tell a story, or maybe a warning. You make out shapes, stars, spirals, and something that looks like a figure with too many limbs. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers worshipped these figures or feared them. Were they gods, invaders, or just bad dreams carved into stone? Your scanner beeps, picking up a faint electromagnetic pulse from the pillar. Not enough to fry your gear, but enough to make you wonder if touching it was a dumb move. Spoiler, it probably was. You chuckle, muttering, "Note to self, don't poke the alien artifacts." The chamber stretches into shadows, and you notice a raised platform at its center, like a stage for some long-forgotten ritual. Dust swirls around it, catching the glyph glow like tiny fireflies. You approach, boots crunching louder than you'd like. The platform's edged with more glyphs, these ones sharper, almost angry. You imagine a Starweaver standing here, chanting to a sky full of stars that don't blink. Creepy? Sure. But also weirdly soothing, like a bedtime story from a galaxy that doesn't care if you sleep or scream. You run a gloved hand along the platform's edge and the hum spikes again, making your teeth ache. Okay, calm down, ancient ruin, you say, half laughing, half wishing you'd stayed in the shuttle. Your flashlight catches something new. A glyph shaped like a spiral with a jagged break, like a snapped bone. It feels personal, like it's pointing at you. You shake it off, blaming the long trip and that questionable space ration you ate earlier. Probably just gas, you mutter, grinning at your own lame joke. But the glyph's still there, glowing brighter, and the hum's now a rhythm, pulling you toward a dark archway beyond the platform. You're not sure what's waiting, but turning back feels like admitting defeat. And let's be honest, you're too curious for that. You take a deep breath, adjust your helmet, and step toward the archway, ready for whatever the ruins want to whisper next. You're edging through the dark archway, the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins closing around you like a cosmic fist. That persistent hum from the glyphs is now a low thrum, vibrating in your chest like you're standing too close to a subwoofer. Your flashlight barely cuts through the gloom, its beam swallowed by shadows that feel too thick, too alive. The air, or whatever passes for it here, tastes bitter through your suit's filters, and you're starting to wonder if the Starweavers left something in these ruins that doesn't want company. You take another step, and the ground shifts slightly, making your stomach lurch. Great, now the floor's got an attitude. In 2018, astronomers studying Andromeda's core detected unexplained gravitational waves, ripples that some theorized came from ancient, alien-made structures warping space-time itself. These ruins might be the source, their very existence bending reality in ways we don't understand. You're walking through one of those mysteries now, each step a gamble. A quirky tidbit: a few rogue scientists on X once claimed the Starweavers used these ruins to talk to the void, sending signals to something beyond our universe. No evidence, of course, but that thrum in your bones makes you wonder if they were onto something. You're in a narrow corridor now, walls pulsing with that same sickly green glow. The glyphs are gone, replaced by smooth, featureless stone, or is it metal, that seems to drink in your light. You feel a tug, not physical but mental, like the void itself is whispering, "Hey buddy, let's chat." Your scanner's going nuts, picking up faint energy spikes that don't match any known tech. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers vanished into this void or were consumed by it. Did they open a door they couldn't close, or did they choose to step through? You're not sure you want the answer, but your feet keep moving, drawn by that thrum. The corridor widens into a circular chamber, its ceiling lost in darkness. You spot a faint shimmer in the center, like heat rising off pavement, but there's no heat here, just cold that seeps through your suit. You step closer, and the shimmer sharpens into a distortion, a patch of air that bends light wrong. It's not a mirage, it's a tear, a glitch in reality. You laugh nervously, muttering, "Okay, universe, no need to show off." The thrum spikes, and for a split second you swear you see something in the distortion. A shape too vast, too wrong. Your heart skips and you step back, tripping over nothing. "Graceful as always," you mumble, trying to shake the unease. The chamber feels alive now, the thrum a heartbeat, the distortion a watchful eye. You circle it, keeping your distance, but the tug in your mind grows stronger, like a lullaby you can't ignore. You're not scared. Okay, maybe a little. But mostly you're curious. What did the Starweavers find here? What pulled them into the void? You spot a faint marking on the floor, a spiral like the one from before, but this one's cracked, bleeding that green glow. You kneel, careful not to touch it, and the thrum softens, almost soothing. "Nice try, creepy ruin," you whisper, smirking. But you're not fooling anyone, least of all yourself. The distortion's still there, waiting, and you know you'll have to face it soon. You're standing in the circular chamber, the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins humming around you like a cosmic lullaby with a sinister edge. That distortion in the air, that glitchy, light-bending tear, looms a few feet away, and you're trying really hard not to stare at it. The thrum from the ruins pulses through your suit, syncing with your heartbeat, which is honestly a bit rude. The walls, smooth and cold, reflect the faint green glow from the cracked spiral on the floor. You're not sure if you're imagining it, but the air feels thicker, like it's trying to hug you or strangle you. You adjust your helmet, muttering, "Stay cool, it's just an alien ruin." Spoiler, you're not cool. In 2023, astronomers using the James Webb Space Telescope spotted unusual infrared emissions from Andromeda's outer regions, suggesting massive ancient structures, maybe like this one, could be manipulating energy in ways we can't explain. The Starweavers didn't just build big, they built weird, their tech or rituals leaving echoes we're still chasing. A quirky tidbit. A fringe group on X claims the Starweavers ran an observatory here, not to study stars, but to summon something from beyond them. Sounds like a wild party you weren't invited to, but that thrum in your chest makes you wonder if they got an RSVP. You circle the distortion, keeping your distance. But it's like trying to ignore a cosmic mosquito buzzing in your ear. The chamber's walls are carved with faint outlines, figures maybe, or machines, their shapes blurred by time. You spot one that looks like a robed figure holding a star, and it gives you chills. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers were scientists or cultists. Did they build this observatory to map the cosmos, or to worship something that doesn't play nice? You're leaning toward the creepy worship vibe, because nothing about this place screams stargazing for fun. Your scanner beeps, picking up a rhythmic energy pulse from the distortion. It's not random, it's a pattern, like a signal. You step closer and the thrum deepens, making your vision blur for a second. Okay, not cool, you say, shaking your head. You laugh, because what else can you do? The distortion ripples, and you swear you see a shadow move inside it, too big to be human. Your stomach flips, but you're not backing out now. You notice a raised platform near the distortion, etched with more of those cracked spirals. You kneel, careful not to touch, and the thrum softens, almost inviting. It's like the ruins are saying, come on, just a peek. Yeah, right. You stand, brushing dust off your suit, and notice something new. A faint hum, different from the thrum, coming from the platform. It's musical, almost, like a lullaby from a galaxy that doesn't sleep. You imagine Starweaver priests, or whatever they were, standing here chanting to that distortion. Did they see something in it? Something that made them build this place? You take a step back, muttering, I'm not signing up for your cosmic book club. The distortion doesn't care. It just sits there, bending light, bending reality, and you know you're going to have to get closer eventually. For now, you spot a narrow exit on the far side of the chamber, leading deeper. You're not ready for that distortion yet, but the ruins aren't done with you. You're slipping through the narrow exit from that eerie chamber, the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins guiding you deeper like a cosmic maze with a bad sense of humor. The thrum from before lingers, but it's joined by a new sensation. A faint tickle in your mind, like time itself is hiccuping. The corridor you're in is tight, its walls pulsing with that familiar green glow, but the geometry's all wrong. Angles bend where they shouldn't, and the floor dips like it's trying to trip you. Your boots scuff against the stone, or whatever it is, and you catch yourself muttering, "Nice try, ruin. I'm still walking." The air's colder now, your suit's heater whining in protest, and you're starting to think this place doesn't want you here. In 2020, astrophysicists studying Andromeda's halo found evidence of temporal anomalies, tiny distortions in space-time that defy our models of physics. Some theorized ancient alien tech could be the culprit, bending time like a cosmic pretzel. These ruins might be ground zero for that weirdness, and you're feeling it now. A quirky tidbit, a Band X post from a rogue scientist claimed the Starweavers used these corridors to fold time, stepping between moments like you'd step through a door. No proof, but that tickle in your head makes you wonder if you're about to trip over yesterday. The corridor twists, and you stumble into a wider space, the walls studded with crystalline shards that catch the glow like frozen fire. They hum faintly, and when you get closer, your scanner spikes, reading energy fluctuations that scream, not normal. You're standing in what feels like a rift, a place where time doesn't play fair. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers mastered time or were broken by it. Did they build these rifts to explore eternity, or did they accidentally crack reality? You're not sure, but the way your watch is flickering, jumping from 11:14 to 11:16 and back, says this isn't just a theory. You reach out, almost touching a crystal, but pull back. Not falling for that one again, you say, chuckling to hide the unease. The crystals pulse, and for a second you see a flash, a vision of yourself, standing right where you are, but older, dustier, like you've been here for years. You blink, and it's gone. Okay, that's enough cosmic coffee for me, you mutter, shaking your head. The rift's energy swirls, and you feel that tickle again, stronger, like memories that aren't yours are trying to move in. You see a star weaver, or something like it, tall and shadowy, etching a crystal with a tool that hums like the ruins. Did they trap time here, or did time trap them? You step back, noticing a faint path leading deeper, marked by more crystals. The tickle fades, but the thrum's back, steady as ever. You're not sure if you're walking forward or backward in time, but the ruins don't care. They're playing a long game, and you're just a guest who didn't read the fine print. You laugh softly, saying, "If I get stuck in a time loop, I'm demanding a refund." The crystals don't laugh back, but they glow brighter, pointing you toward the path. You take a deep breath, check your scanner, still glitchy, and move on, ready for whatever this time-twisted maze throws at you next. You're trudging down the crystal-lined path in the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins, the time-twisted tickle from before fading but leaving a nervous buzz in your head. The air's thick, not with dust but with something heavier, like the weight of 1,000 unseen stairs. The walls here are smoother, almost organic, pulsing faintly with that green glow you're starting to hate. Your scanner's still glitchy, spitting out readings that say bioenergy 1 second and error the next. The thrum's back, but it's different, sharper, like a warning. You mutter, "Okay, ruins, what's next? Alien roaches?" The silence doesn't answer, but you swear the walls twitch. In 2022, astronomers studying Andromeda's core found chemical signatures, complex organic compounds that hinted at ancient biological activity, maybe even life forms that thrived in cosmic extremes. The Star Weavers might have been messing with something alive, something that didn't like being messed with. A quirky tidbit, a now-deleted X-thread claimed the Star Weavers bred cosmic parasites to guard their ruins, tiny critters that could slip into your mind and rewrite your thoughts. Sounds like sci-fi nonsense, but the way your skin's crawling makes you double-check your suit's seals. The path opens into a low chamber, its floor littered with tiny, glistening specks, like glitter, but wrong. You kneel, shining your flashlight, and realize they're moving, wriggling like microscopic worms. Your scanner screams biological anomaly, and you back up, heart thumping. These are no roaches. They're remnants of a star-born plague, maybe the kind that took out the Star Weavers. Historians still argue whether the Star Weavers engineered these parasites or fell victim to them. Were they tools for defense, or a mistake that ate their civilization? You're not sticking around to find out. "Nope, not petting the glowworms," you say, forcing a laugh to steady your nerves. The specks don't chase you, thank the stars, but they're spreading, coating the floor like a living carpet. You spot a raised dais at the chamber's center, free of the wriggling mess. It's carved with spirals like the ones from before, but these are jagged, angry. You climb up, careful not to slip, and notice a faint heat coming from the dais. Your scanner picks up a new signal, faint, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. You imagine Star Weavers standing here trying to contain their plague, their robes dusted with those specks. Did they know what they'd unleashed? The thrum spikes, and you feel a tug, not in your mind but in your gut, like something's trying to latch on. You step off the dais, shaking off the heebie-jeebies. "Okay, no parasite parties for me," you mutter, grinning despite the chill. The chamber's far wall has an opening, narrow and dark, leading deeper. The specks haven't reached it yet, but the glow's stronger there, pulsing like it's waiting. You check your scanner, still freaking out, and take a breath. The ruins are testing you, and you're not sure if you're passing or just stumbling through. Either way, you're too stubborn to turn back. You glance at the wriggling specks one last time, say, "You guys need a better hobby," and head for the opening, ready for whatever the ruins have cooked up next. You're squeezing through the narrow opening, leaving those wriggling specks behind in the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins, though the memory of their glittery creepiness sticks like cosmic gum on your boots. The thrum's still there, a low pulse that feels like it's judging your every step. The corridor you're in is a nightmare of geometry, walls that curve at angles that make your eyes ache, corners that shouldn't exist. It's like the Star Weavers decided Euclid was overrated and built a funhouse instead. Your flashlight struggles, its beam bending weirdly, and you mutter, "Great, now I'm in an alien kaleidoscope." The walls don't reply, but they shimmer, reflecting your light in ways that scream non-Euclidean. In 2017, astronomers studying Andromeda's stellar dynamics found evidence of gravitational oddities, suggesting structures that warp space itself, defying our understanding of physics. These ruins could be the culprit, their architecture bending reality like a cosmic origami project. A quirky tidbit, a fringe ex-post claimed the Starweavers used non-Euclidean designs to confuse invaders or trap them forever. No proof, but as you dodge a wall that seems to lean closer, you're not laughing it off. The thrum deepens, and you feel like you're walking through a dream where the rules keep changing. The corridor twists, dumping you into a vast chamber where shadows dance like they've got a grudge. The walls here are alive with patterns, spirals, fractals, shapes that make your brain itch. You try to focus, but it's like staring at a glitchy hologram. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers built these disorienting spaces for protection or worship. Were they hiding from something, or inviting it in? Your scanner's useless here, spitting out nonsense readings like it's drunk. You step forward and the floor shifts, not a quake but a deliberate tilt, like the ruins are playing with you. Okay, rude, you say, chuckling to keep your nerves in check. You spot a central structure, a twisted pillar that looks like it's melting upward. It's covered in those same fractals, glowing faintly green. You approach, and the thrum spikes, making your vision blur. For a second, you see something, a shadow, too tall, too angular, moving across the pillar. You blink, and it's gone. Just the light, you mutter, but your heart's not buying it. The pillar's base has a carving, a spiral with eyes, hundreds of them, staring right at you. You imagine Starweavers chanting here, their voices bending with the walls. Did they see what you saw? The thrum feels personal now, like it's whispering your name. You laugh nervously, saying, "I'm not on the guest list, pal." The chamber's far end has another passage, darker, narrower. The shadows seem to pool there, thicker than they should be. You take a step and the floor tilts again, just enough to make you stumble. Real mature, ruins, you grumble, catching yourself. The thrum's steady, but the air feels heavier, like it's daring you to keep going. You're not sure what's waiting in that passage, but turning back isn't an option. You check your suit, still sealed, thank the stars, and move toward the darkness, ready for the ruins to throw another curveball your way. You're inching through the dark passage in the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins, the non-Euclidean weirdness from before still messing with your head. The thrums are constant now, like a heartbeat you can't shake, and the walls, smooth, almost liquid, pulse with that sickly green glow. Your flashlight's beam wavers, not from a dying battery, but because the air itself seems to bend it. The passage feels alive, tightening around you like it's deciding whether to let you pass. You mutter, "Okay, ruins, no need to get clingy." The silence swallows your words, but you swear the thrum chuckles. In 2019, astronomers studying Andromeda's outer regions found evidence of dark matter echoes, gravitational patterns suggesting massive ancient structures, maybe like these ruins, interacting with unseen forces. The Starweavers didn't just build cities, they built something that tugged at the universe's fabric. A quirky tidbit, a now blocked X account claimed the Starweavers' ruins were a graveyard for a civilization that fell upward, vanishing into a higher dimension. No evidence, but as the walls pulse, you wonder if you're walking through their last stand. The passage opens into a vast, domed chamber, its ceiling studded with faint, star-like lights that flicker out of sync with any constellation you know. The floor's littered with debris, shattered crystals, twisted metal, or maybe bone. You can't tell. Your scanner picks up faint energy traces, not tech, but something organic, like the ruins are breathing. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers collapsed from war, hubris, or something they summoned. Did they fight each other, or did they lose to whatever's making your skin crawl right now? You step over a chunk of debris, and it crumbles, releasing a faint puff of dust that smells like burnt ozone. You spot a massive structure at the chamber's center, like a collapsed tower, its surface etched with those familiar spirals, cracked, jagged, angry. The thrum's louder here, vibrating your teeth. You approach, and the starlights above shift, casting shadows that don't match your movements. Okay, that's just showing off, you say, forcing a laugh. The tower's base has a carving, a figure tall and robed, holding what looks like a shattered star. You imagine Starweavers gathering here, their voices echoing as their world unraveled. The dust swirls, and for a second you hear whispers, not words, just fragments, like a radio stuck between stations. You circle the tower, noticing smaller carvings, scenes of cities under alien skies, ships swallowed by voids, figures kneeling to something vast. The thrum feels mournful now, like the ruins are grieving. You touch the tower, big mistake, and the thrum spikes, flooding your head with static. You stumble back, muttering, "Yeah, lesson learned." No touching. The starlights flicker faster, and you swear they form a pattern, pointing to a shadowed alcove across the chamber. Your scanner's going haywire, but your gut says that's where the answers are. You're not sure you want them, but you're too deep to quit. "Here's hoping I don't regret this," you whisper, smirking, and head for the alcove, ready for the ruin's next trick. You're creeping toward the shadowed alcove in the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins, the mournful thrum from that collapsed tower still ringing in your ears like a cosmic funeral dirge. The starlights above flicker, casting jagged shadows that seem to slink along the walls, keeping pace with you. The air's thick, not just with dust, but with a weight that makes your shoulders sag, like the ruins are leaning on you. Your flashlight catches glints of something metallic, or maybe alive, in the alcove ahead. You mutter, "Okay, ruins, what's the catch this time?" "Alien welcome, Matt." The thrum doesn't answer, but it deepens, vibrating your bones. In 2024, astronomers analyzing Andromeda's core detected faint gamma-ray bursts, possibly from ancient rituals or tech gone wrong, hinting at places like this, sacred, dangerous, and tied to something beyond our physics. The Starweavers might have built this alcove as a shrine, not to stars, but to something older, hungrier. A quirky tidbit: a deleted ex-post from a xenoarchaeologist swore the Starweavers worshipped an eldritch deity here, a being that lived in the cracks of reality. No proof, but the way the shadows twitch makes you check your suit's oxygen levels twice. The alcove's closer now, its entrance framed by carvings, spirals, eyes, and that same robed figure from before, clutching a broken star. The thrum's almost deafening, but it's not sound. It's in your head, like a memory you didn't ask for. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers revered this deity or feared it. Did they build this shrine to appease something, or to trap it? You step inside, and the air shifts, colder, denser. Your scanner screams "anomaly detected," then fritzes out. The alcove's small but feels infinite, its walls covered in glyphs that glow red, not green. They pulse, and you swear they're watching you. At the center sits a low altar, black and smooth, like it's carved from a black hole's heart. It's etched with a single symbol, a spiral with too many arms, twisting into itself. You lean closer, and the thrum spikes, flooding your mind with static. For a second, you see something. A vast shape, not here but everywhere, its edges fraying reality. You blink, heart pounding, and mutter, "Nope, not signing up for that fan club." The altar's warm, despite the cold, and you notice faint scratches around it, like something clawed its way out, or in. You imagine Starweavers kneeling here, their chants swallowed by that shape. Did they summon it, or did it summon them? You step back, tripping over a loose stone. Graceful as ever, you laugh, but it's shaky. The red glyphs pulse faster, and the thrum feels like it's rewriting your thoughts. You spot a narrow exit on the alcove's far side, barely visible in the crimson glow. The shadows are thicker there, moving when they shouldn't. You're not sure what's waiting, but the altar's still humming, and you're not sticking around to see if that shape comes back. "Time to go, creepy shrine," you whisper, forcing a smirk. You check your suit, still sealed barely, and head for the exit, ready for the ruins to throw another cosmic curveball your way. You're slipping through the narrow exit from that creepy alcove, the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins still humming with that eldritch thrum that feels like it's rewriting your pulse. The red glow of the altar's glyphs lingers in your mind, like a bad dream you can't shake. The passage you're in is tighter, the walls slick and cold, almost pulsing under your gloved fingers. Your flashlight catches glints of something, liquid, dripping from the ceiling, pooling in cracks that shouldn't be there. The air's heavy, pressing against your suit, and you mutter, "Okay, ruins, you're getting a bit too personal." The thrum doesn't care. It's louder now, like it's excited you're here. In 2023, astronomers studying Andromeda's outer disk found unexplained energy spikes, suggesting rifts, tears in space-time that could link to other dimensions. These ruins might be one big rift machine, built by the Starweavers to peek into places they had no business peeking. A quirky tidbit, a now censored ex-post claimed the Starweavers opened these rifts to borrow knowledge from beyond, only to get more than they bargained for. No evidence, but as the walls pulse, you're starting to think they invited something nasty over for cosmic tea. The passage twists, dumping you into a small domed chamber where the air shimmers like heat over a desert road. Your scanner's dead, but you don't need it to feel the wrongness here. The dome's center holds a rift, a floating, jagged tear in reality, leaking faint whispers that sound like voices, but aren't. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers created these rifts or stumbled into them. Were they explorers, or did they accidentally rip a hole to somewhere that doesn't play nice? You step closer, and the whispers sharpen, not words, but feelings. Dread, curiosity, hunger. You laugh nervously, saying, "Okay, I'm not on the menu, right?" The rift pulses, and you see flashes, images of Starweaver cities, their spires glowing under alien skies, then crumbling as shadows pour through rifts like this one. Your head aches, and you stumble, catching yourself on a wall that feels too warm, too alive. The whispers tug at your thoughts, like they're trying to move in. You imagine Starweavers standing here, their minds fraying as the rift spoke to them. Did they close it, or did it swallow them? You spot carvings around the dome, spirals, eyes, and that robed figure again, its star now shattered into shards. The thrum spikes and the rift seems to grow, just a fraction. You back up, muttering, "Yeah, no thanks, I'm not rift diving today." Your chuckle's weak, but it keeps you grounded. The dome's walls are etched with faint scenes, figures fleeing, rifts splitting skies, something vast watching from above. The whispers soften, but they're still there, like a lullaby from a place that doesn't sleep. You notice another exit, half hidden behind a collapsed pillar. The rift's still pulsing, and you're not sure if it's calling you or warning you. Either way, you're done here. Time to find a less creepy room, you say, smirking to hide the chill. You check your suit, oxygen's low but holding, and head for the exit, ready for the ruin's next trick. You're ducking through the half-hidden exit, leaving that rift's unsettling whispers behind in the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins. The thrum's still there, a steady pulse that feels like it's stitched into your nerves now, but it's softer, almost curious. The passage is narrow, its walls studded with small metallic relics, shards that glint like frozen starlight under your flickering flashlight. They hum faintly, not like the thrum, but something gentler, like a lullaby from a machine that's forgotten how to sleep. You brush one with your glove, and it sparks, making you jump. "Okay, no touching the shiny things," you mutter, chuckling to keep the creeping dread at bay. In 2022, astronomers studying Andromeda's halo detected faint electromagnetic signals, possibly from ancient relics like these, carrying patterns too complex for natural phenomena. The Starweavers might have used these shards to store knowledge, or trap it. A quirky tidbit, a now scrubbed ex-post from a rogue xenoarchaeologist, claimed these relics held forbidden knowledge, like a cosmic hard drive for secrets the Starweavers didn't want loose. No proof, but as the relics hum, you feel a tickle in your mind, like someone's flipping through your thoughts. The passage opens into a low chamber, its floor littered with more relics, some glowing, some dark. The air's thick, not with dust, but with a static charge that makes your suit crackle. You spot a central pedestal, smooth and black, holding a single relic, a sphere, pulsing with that sickly green glow from way back. Your scanner's still dead, but your gut says this thing's important. Historians still argue whether the Starweavers hoarded knowledge to save their civilization or to control it. Did they lock away secrets to protect themselves or to keep power over something bigger? You step closer, and the sphere's hum syncs with the thrum, making your vision blur. You lean in, and the sphere pulses brighter, projecting faint images, Starweaver cities, skies split by rifts, figures bowing to something vast. It's not a hologram, it's in your head, like a memory you didn't earn. You see a robed figure, like the ones carved before, holding a sphere like this one. Did they record their downfall or their prayers? You laugh shakily, saying, "Great, I'm watching alien home movies now." The images shift, shadows moving, stars winking out, and the thrum feels heavy, like it's warning you to back off. You don't touch the sphere, but you're tempted. What's in there? Answers, or something that'll fry your brain? You step back, noticing a faint path leading out, lined with more relics. The sphere's still humming, and you swear it's following you like those eyes in the glyphs from earlier. Not creepy at all, you whisper, smirking to hide the chill. The chamber's walls are etched with faint spirals, cracked like the ones you saw ages ago, back when you tripped over that debris. Remember that graceful moment? The thrum's guiding you now, pulling you toward the path. You're not sure what's waiting, but you're too deep to turn back. You check your suit, oxygen's tight, but you've got time, and move on, ready for the ruins to spill more of their forbidden secrets. You're following the faint path lined with humming relics, the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins stretching around you like a cosmic trap that's too polite to spring just yet. The thrum's back, a low vibration that feels like it's watching you, not just echoing through the stone, or whatever these walls are made of. The relics glow faintly, their light casting shadows that seem to linger a bit too long, like they're sizing you up. Your flashlight's holding, but the beam feels weaker, swallowed by the darkness ahead. You mutter, "Okay, ruins." You're starting to feel like a clingy ex. The thrum doesn't laugh, but it deepens, almost smug. In 2020, astronomers studying Andromeda's core found unexplained microlensing events, tiny bends in starlight suggesting massive, unseen entities moving through the galaxy. Some speculated these were relics or observers, tied to ruins like these. The Star Weavers might have built this place to commune with something that doesn't blink. A quirky tidbit, a now-deleted X-post claimed the Star Weavers called these entities eternal observers, beings that watched from beyond time itself. No proof, but as the shadows shift, you feel eyes on you, and not the friendly kind. The path opens into a wide, vaulted chamber, its ceiling lost in a haze of flickering lights, like stars but wrong, pulsing out of sync. The floor's smooth, almost glassy, reflecting your silhouette and something else, taller, thinner, moving when you don't. You freeze, heart thumping. "Just a trick of the light," you say, chuckling nervously. The thrum spikes and the reflection vanishes. You're standing before a massive carving, a robed figure like the ones from before, but this one's holding a spiral that seems to stare back. Historians still argue whether the Star Weavers worshipped these observers or feared them. Were they allies, or did they drive the Star Weavers to ruin? You step closer, and the thrum feels personal, like it knows your name. Your scanner's dead, but you don't need it to sense the weight here, like the air's holding its breath. The carving's eyes, hundreds of them, etched into the spiral, glow faintly, tracking your every move. You imagine Star Weavers kneeling here, their voices pleading with something vast, something that watched without caring. The thrum pulses, and for a second, you feel it, and presence, not here but close, observing you like you're a bug under glass. You laugh, muttering, "Okay, I'm not that interesting, pal." But your voice shakes, just a bit. The chamber's far wall has a low archway, barely visible in the flickering light. The thrum's pulling you there, like a thread you can't cut. You spot faint scratches on the floor, like something was dragged or clawed toward that archway. "Not ominous at all," you whisper, smirking to keep your nerve. The relics along the path are dimmer now, their hum fading, but the observer's presence lingers, heavy and cold. You're not sure what's waiting beyond that archway, but you're too stubborn or too foolish to stop now. You check your suit, oxygen's low, but you've got enough, and step toward the archway, ready for the ruins to show you what they've been hiding. You're ducking through the low archway in the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins, the thrum now a deep pulse that feels like it's stitched into your veins. Those watchful shadows from the last chamber linger in your mind, like an itch you can't scratch. The passage is tight, its walls slick with a strange, oily sheen that reflects your flashlight in jagged bursts. The air's colder, your suit's heater whining, and the thrum's sharper, like it's warning you, or daring you. You mutter, "Okay, ruins, what's the grand finale? Alien pop quiz?" The silence feels smug, and you swear the walls lean closer. In 2021, astronomers studying Andromeda's core detected faint distortions in space-time, possibly tied to black holes or ancient structures manipulating gravity itself. These ruins could be linked, their design tugging at forces we barely understand. A quirky tidbit, a now vanished ex-post claimed the Star Weavers built shrines to sing to black holes, using vibrations to commune with their pull. No evidence, but as the thrum rattles your teeth, you wonder if they were onto something. The passage opens into a small, circular chamber, its center dominated by a massive obsidian-like sphere. It's not floating, but it feels like it should be, its surface drinking in your light. The sphere hums, syncing with the thrum, and you feel a pull, not physical, but deep, like it's tugging your thoughts toward the void. Historians still argue whether the Star Weavers revered black holes as gods or feared them as prisons. Did they build this to worship the singularity or to contain it? You circle the sphere, and your scanner, miraculously working again, picks up gravitational anomalies, tiny ripples that make your stomach lurch. The walls are etched with spirals like the ones from way back when you nearly face-planted. Remember that smooth move? But these spirals are tighter, almost frantic, circling a carving of a robed figure falling into a dark vortex. You lean closer, and the thrum spikes, flooding your head with static. For a second you see it, a black hole, not out there but in your mind, its edges fraying reality. You stumble back, muttering, "Okay, no staring into the cosmic abyss." You laugh, but it's shaky. The sphere's hum feels alive, like it's whispering secrets the Star Weavers died for. You imagine them standing here, their chants swallowed by that void. Did they fall in, or did they jump? The thrum softens, almost soothing, but you're not fooled. You spot a faint exit, half hidden by shadows that seem to writhe. "Nice try, creepy sphere," you whisper, smirking to keep your nerve. The chamber feels smaller now, like the walls are closing in. Or maybe that's just your imagination, stirred up by that black hole vision. You're not sure what's beyond that exit, but the thrum's guiding you, and you're too deep to back out. You check your suit, oxygen's critical, but you've got just enough, and step toward the exit, ready for the ruins to reveal their final secret. The sphere's hum follows you like a farewell from something that's been watching all along. You're easing through the shadowed exit, the Andromeda Galaxy's ruins quieter now, the thrum softening into a gentle hum that feels like a cosmic sigh. The passage widens, its walls smoother, almost polished, reflecting your flashlight in soft, hazy glints. The air's lighter, less oppressive, but there's a finality to it, like the ruins are done playing games. Your suit's oxygen warning beeps faintly, but you've got just enough to keep going. The sphere's hum from the last chamber lingers in your mind like a song you can't unhear. You mutter, "Okay, ruins, let's wrap this up before I need a nap." The silence feels kind, for once. In 2023, astronomers studying Andromeda's halo found faint traces of ancient energy fields, suggesting structures like these ruins were built to last forever, or to hide something eternal. The Star Weavers left this place as a memory, or maybe a warning. A quirky tidbit, a long-deleted ex-post claimed the Star Weavers' final act was to seal their secrets in these ruins, locking them away from prying eyes like yours. No proof, but as the walls glow faintly, you feel like you're trespassing on their last goodbye. The passage opens into a small open-air courtyard. Impossible. Yet here it is, under a sky of alien stars that flicker like dying embers. The ground's soft, dusted with fine ash, and you see faint outlines of those spirals from way back. Remember tripping over that debris? These are gentler, worn smooth by time. Historians still argue whether the Star Weavers vanished willingly or were erased. Did they ascend to some cosmic plane, or did their own creations, rifts, parasites, observers consume them? You kneel, brushing ash away, revealing a carving of a robed figure, its face serene, eyes closed. It feels like closure. The hum's barely audible now, a whisper that soothes rather than startles. You sit, leaning against a crumbled pillar, and let the stars above wash over you. They're not threatening anymore, just distant, quiet. You imagine the Star Weavers standing here, their voices fading as their world did. The ash swirls gently, catching starlight, and you feel a calm settle in, like the ruins are finally letting you go. "Not a bad place to rest," you whisper, chuckling softly. Your scanner's silent, your suit's warning a distant beep. The ruins have told their story, and you've listened. You're still in the courtyard, the ash soft beneath you, the stars above slowing their flicker. The hum's gone now, replaced by a stillness that wraps around you like a warm blanket. The ruins feel peaceful, their secrets shared, their weight lifted. You lean back, letting your eyes trace the alien sky, each star a story that doesn't need telling. Your breath slows, matching the gentle pulse of the universe, and the courtyard seems to fade, its edges blurring into a soft, endless dark. You're not afraid anymore. The Star Weaver's tale is done, and you're just a visitor, drifting through their memory. Let your thoughts soften, your shoulders relax, and imagine the ash settling, the stars dimming to a gentle glow. You're safe here, held by the quiet of a galaxy that's seen it all. Close your eyes, let the stillness carry you, and slip into a dream where the ruins whisper only peace.